What's going on, boys? What is happening? If you are watching on catch up, then welcome. Thought I'd do a little stream today. Just got an afternoon spare, so why not? Why not get out there, looking at a few things, having a little chat around some things. Um, yeah, there we go. I suppose. Let's just post a couple of things out on YouTube, but not on YouTube, on Twitter. Share link. Let's copy that link. Bosh, bosh, bosh. There we go. That link looks a little bit weird, but I think it works. Let's have a look. Does it work? Yeah, I think it does. There we go. Wallop. Go. Live chat. Hey, Stefan. How you doing, mate? How are you doing? Let's switch over there rather than just looking at my ugly mug. Looks like I'm a little bit small just because I'm slouched down today. Just because I'm slouched down. How are you, Stefan? You okay, mate? Yeah, there's a few things that I've been looking at. I've been looking at unique capped mode. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna do that. And it certainly isn't kind of within the next week or so. But I think it's something that I'd eventually want to get involved with. I mean, there's no liquidity in it though, which is a bit of a problem. But hey, I've been looking at it because some of the prices are quite good. You know, this is the kind of filter that I was looking at. For example, down here, I'm sure I saw somebody that was a decent price. I think it was Rudy Camacho was a decent price for his unique. I mean, I never thought that I'd be talking about uniques, to be perfectly honest. Ever kind of in Sorare, to be fair. But that's just where we're going. That's where the game's going, you know. That is where it's going. You're good? Yeah, well, good stuff, Stefan. Good stuff, mate. Um, yeah, I was looking at him because his previous unique was a decent price. I'm sure if I just go in here, there's somebody selling a unique. Yeah, look at that, 0.69, you know? That's not too bad if you can get it down to like half an ETH for a unique that's probably got about 2 or 3 years. Unless Columbus Crew, actually, maybe that's what's happened, right? Maybe that's what's happened. What is it? Roster decisions? Roster decisions? Announces. Yeah, they announced this a couple of weeks back. So let's have a look, see what Columbus Crew actually did. Is Camacho in here? Let me just search by Rudy. No. Surely he's still there. Is he still there? Oh, that's Columbus Crew 2. That's why. They probably haven't released it yet. I wouldn't have thought so. Probably haven't released that yet. Let me whack a note in Discord. Matchup. Is he a free agent? Or not announced yet? What's going on, boys? For those who just joining, yeah, just thought I'd do a couple of hours on here. I'm scooting around some bits and pieces, having a look at some auctions, having a look at some cheap prices, especially MLS at the moment, which is good. Yeah, which is good. What's going on, Sam? Afternoon, mate. Afternoon. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I am supposed to be working. I've got a laptop open next to me, but hey, you live once, so why not just get on with it and move on? Yeah, you probably think that I'm sharing that like I'm gonna buy a Camacho, but I'm just finding out any information. So if anyone does know about this guy, because he's rare at the moment, he's £13. I'm supposed to be working. I am led. I am. The good thing is though, well, yeah, it is a good thing. Probably not from my current company, but I gave my notice in a couple of weeks back. I've got a new job that's starting in the new year. So at the moment, I am on proper wind down mode. which is good for me, probably not good for them. But hey, I'm organized. I've written all my process documentation down. I've done all handovers and stuff like that to everyone. So there we go. People, there you go. After giving a notice. I mean, hopefully, I don't think anyone. No, definitely, no one in financial technology plays so rare. I don't think, apart from me. Maybe that's just me saying that. I don't know. Um, yeah. So I've got some time to kill. So up until Christmas, make some more videos, do some more shit, try and create some more evergreen content. It's really tough. Led, I don't know anyone in the chat. It's really hard to make content that's going to be applicable in 6 months' time. Um, kind of, I enjoy doing my gallery updates and saying, oh, I've bought this person, I bought this person, this is my plans and stuff like that. But it's almost as soon as you put that out, it's almost expired. Because the following week it moves on to something else. So yeah, just trying to think of some evergreen stuff out there, really, just from a content creation point of view. What's going on, Daniel? Yeah, morning, mate. I am doing all right. I'm doing okay. A little bit tired and whatnot, but the my second child, my little boy, is sleeping almost through the night now, which is good. So I'm starting to get some hours back, but yeah, still a little bit tired. How are you? How are you, Daniel? You good? I suppose let's start with how I got on, because it's my stream and it's all about me and all that. Um, let's see how I got on last week. Not fantastic, however, we did do it again. 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3, boys. 2 out of 3. We've got 307 points from a threshold team there. I was expecting a lot more from KSC in this game. They was playing. I mean, I know they're towards the bottom, but I was just expecting them to just come out and tank them when they've got Big Marvin in there, Stindl there. I was expecting a clean sheet. So it's unfortunately they didn't do that, but Drew has come up with some fantastic AA in there. Joe Newell delivering again from an AA standpoint, not too bad. Put the armband on him, but this is the fella who done everything for me. Was Niang. And this is exactly why I kind of bought him. Really, was to um for these spikes. A 74 there with a goal and assist. Yeah, I'm not expecting amazing things out of him from AA, but it's great that when he pops up with these, and he basically secured me the threshold again. So yeah, we're 2 out of 3, point two ETH in the gallery, which is great. Evergreen Sorare content is so hard for so many reasons. I think that we did a Sorare under Thursday 2 months ago later. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking about doing a video the other day around, and maybe it is helpful for people now, right? Rather than me being selfish and thinking, oh, it could get views in X amount of months' time. But I was going to do a video on a capped, because, excuse me, that's where my focus is at the moment. Obviously, I can't stop talking about it, right? A capped goalkeeper that I think's a good capped goalkeeper in every single league, but that goalkeeper next month could lose their position. The goalkeeper that I was actually thinking about buying, right, was this guy. I'll come back to my game week in a minute, but was this guy. He was genuinely going to be my next super rare purchase from a goalkeeper's point of view, because you look here, I've got some. By the way, if I sound really nasally, I'm still suffering from sinuses and God knows what, and I just cannot get rid of it. But yeah, you'll see there that I've got 2 Turkish players in Belhanda and Niang in the Turkish league, but I also have, I don't know if you can see it here, yeah, Kevin Rodriguez as well, so like that mini kind of stack. And I was thinking, well, over Christmas, and I need a second super rare goalkeeper anyway. Oh, great, this guy seems fantastic. He was on the watch list. I removed him about an hour ago, and he's out for the season, and if not more. Oh, you was going to buy him too? Yeah. And then I woke up and I didn't hear the news that he was actually out, but I saw the prices, and I was like, shit. Like, this is brilliant. Let's get the old debit card out and whack some more money into Sorare and just go out there and get him, and hopefully he pays back in a couple of weeks, couple of months time. And yeah, then I found the news, so I'm so glad. Even though that price there is very, very cheap. I don't know how long he's out for, because I haven't looked into the injury as much. I think it was something to do with his shoulder, from what what I read briefly, but that is a really low price if he's back before the end of the season. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna go through every single league and just say, this guy seems like he ticks the box for a cats mode, but I think it just becomes out of date so quickly. Um, with things like that. Gaz, I understand what you mean when making saying making content, because at the minute it seems like people are just bragging about what they've won or telling people what they should be doing. Yeah, I mean, I've probably for the best part of a year just I release a video every, I don't know, 10 days, probably on average since there, just because I enjoy the game, and I never really was gonna. I've said this before, but I was never really gonna create a Sorare channel. I've never done anything like that before. The stuff that I used to do back in the day about singing and when I was in the band and doing all of that sort of stuff, they were the videos that I'd done. It was just covers and doing some original bits and pieces. But yeah, I just thought, why not? Because I'm spending so much time doing this stuff. Surely there's other people out there that do this, which obviously the Sorare community then kind of scratches that itch for me, because I don't have literally one single friend that plays Sorare. So yeah, I just thought start smashing out some videos and stuff, and predominantly I make videos around my gallery, and I don't know if people find that helpful or not, to see where people are, they can relate to me because I'm failing in certain areas or I'm winning stuff in certain areas. But yeah, I think if if a YouTube channel all of a sudden comes, oh, look what I've won, look what I've won, look what I've won, yeah, it's probably not the channel that I want to create. But it is tough, but I enjoy it, so I'll just get on with it. Daniel, good mate, just got to work. Nice to have some Sorare content to listen to while I get some work done. Well, normally it's the other way around for me. Normally I'm like, Sorare data shows or Haber's live, or I'm catching up from the night before. Like I already listened to the Sorare data show yesterday with, what's the guy from, is it Fripp? I think it is. Yeah, I listened to that this morning. So I've always got some stuff on in the background, some sort of podcast and whatnot. Yeah, check work emails. No, we're good. We're good. Should be a quiet afternoon. But yeah, jumping back to this, Fripp. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so I caught up on that, and that kind of, I mean, you could see there that I was showing Rudy Camacho for the guys who come in earlier, because I was looking at some MLS prices, and I was chatting to some of the guys in Discord as well, and I was just like, Jesus, the prices of these players. And I was looking at him from a cap point of view in terms of a super. I actually owned. It'd be interesting to see whether you can actually still see this. Let's go over to price here. Oh, yeah, you can see here that I sold him 0.4. When was that? A year and a bit ago. I can't remember what I bought him at. I think it was 0.45 in a trade. Because I thought he was a good super rare back then. I wonder if, yeah, he was hitting these peak scores. I'm assuming it was around this mark here. But I was looking at him not only just from a super rare point of view, just from a unique point of view as well. Not that I'm diving into unique at the moment, but I just wanted to gauge what the prices would be if I wanted to go into cap mode kind of eventually in a few months' time. Congrats on the thresholds. Cheers, Moritz. Thank you, mate. It's nice to be winning stuff. I think I went about 2 months without doing anything. And considering, like, what gets me? That when I still think back, I had a really good run. I don't even know when it was. It must have been about a year ago, and I won Jude Bellingham rare. And I made a video about it. I was like, what the hell do I do with this guy? Because my gallery wasn't well, it still isn't a size to almost warrant holding that card. But when I think back and I look at just what Bellingham's done since, and I had one, mad, isn't it? And then I won a couple of other kind of half and eve cards. I think I won Pedro Gallesi when he was like 0.7. And then a couple of weeks after that, I won another goalkeeper from second division. I think it was Barragan. Oh, no, not Barragan. It was Bernabé, I think. He was like 0.7. I had a really good run. And then literally, as I said, the last few weeks, it's probably why I've actually changed strategy a little bit to try and win some stuff. Um, Me too, mate. I think Led should stream 8 hours a day. I agree, Led. I think that you should, mate. I think that you should just have show after show after show, and it will just be there on repeat for me on my second screen. Lovely, while I crack on with some bits and pieces. Camacho played so yeah. Do you know what? Now that you say that, that reminds me. I'm sure that I was either talking to his brother or something. Um, I don't know if it was this guy. I don't know. Is it him or did I buy it from him? One of the two. Um, how do I suppose getting the card up, isn't it? And then going from there. See where I'm going from. No, I'm sure that it was this guy. He had like some little tick on his name in Sorare. In Sorare, sorry. But anyway, moving on. From Bali, yeah, Dion. Wow, nice, very very nice. Are you? Assuming you're on holiday or working or what you doing out there, mate? I think he knows Camacho. Yeah, I think when I was trying to, I mean, I was a little bit of a novice there, kind of negotiating back then, and I was just saying some stuff that you shouldn't probably say when you're negotiating. I'm not talking about being aggressive or anything, but just almost showing your hand a little bit too much. And he was just like, and I was saying, oh, I don't know what's happening with him. I don't know about this injury and stuff. And he was giving me some information back, like he genuinely knew him. And I was a bit like, are you chatting shit or are you genuine? I don't know, but I ended up buying it off him anyway for point four. And the person that I bought with him as well at that time, just going down memory lane for a minute. It's the end of the year, so why not? That not how you spell his name? Robin, I think. Robin, yeah, Robin Jansen. I bought him at the time at the same time. I wonder how. Yeah, he's res obviously tanked. He didn't even just let me just check this. Yeah, it must have been around here that I was buying him, around these green scores. But yeah, he just tanked. I had to get out of that card very, very quick as well. It weren't fun. The only reason why I picked him up is actually links into what I was saying before. I won that Pedro Galisi or Galesi card as the goalkeeper, and I was like, oh, do you know what? I might actually make the jump into some sort of super rare competition like the rare pros back then, and that's why I picked him up. But it was just not a great move. um, Daniel's jealous of Dion. Could do with a warm vacation. Same, like same. My last vacation to a hot country was 2019. Wow. And bearing in mind, like before kids, I used to go away probably 3 or 4 times a year with my wife. We loved getting away and going to do things. And then lockdown happened as well, so we had to cancel our trip to Venice. We was going to Venice. I had to cancel that, which was gutting. And then since then, obviously having children and stuff, I just can't cope with the drama about getting on a plane with two kids. You know, a 2.5 year old and a 3 4 month year old. Just no thanks. I'm just not doing it. I'll wait till they're about 4. I'll do staycations in this country. I'll load up the car and I'll drive somewhere. But getting on a plane, having screaming children and being bored and whatnot for however many hours, that's just not my ideal fun. So, but I am jealous. I am jealous for sure. um, oh, you're on holiday. Oh, nice, Dion. Nice, mate. Please do that. I'm just listening to music podcasts, so content. Wish we have more. Yeah. Flying with kids that young sounds horrible. It does, and I listen to a podcast. I don't know if the guys in UK listen to it as well. It's Parent in Hell with two comedians, which is Rob Beckett and Josh Widdicombe, and I listen to that. It's pretty much the only podcast or content that I kind of listen to outside Sorare stuff, to be honest. And they say the same thing, and you hear their stories, and they have celebrities come on and they talk about their kids and their dramas that they have with them. It makes you feel more human, and they always say the same thing: just getting on planes, taking all the gear, like taking all the milk, the bottles, sterilizers, in nappies. Just the list goes on. It's just not about that. Not about that at all. Right, where was we? We were talking about my results. So yeah, I got the threshold, which is really good. Obviously, looking forward to getting that in the bank. My All Star Rare Plus. This was almost a throwaway to a point. I mean, when you look at the cards, you probably don't think it's a throwaway, but because I was focusing on, and I'll show you in a minute, All Star Rare and Cap 240 Super Rare. This was these were the kind of best players that I had after that. Otherwise, I would have put some, I would have chopped and changed some of the lineups. But yeah, Morris coming with some decent AA. Machida, I don't know what's happened to this guy, because when I bought him for like point two, I think it was. And I saw some of these scores. I know he didn't play, excuse me, I know he didn't play much here. But I saw some of these and I was like, you know what, he's capable. And I still think he is capable of decent scores. But it seems like, if I just do by USG here, right? It seems like anytime that I put him in a good lineup, like this 36, I put him in. Sorry, I put him in a lineup. Sorry, I put him in a good lineup here when he got this 0 and just totally tanked everything. I thought against Ghent he'd have a lot to do, but he was just terrible. And then I put him in a good lineup here for this 21, and then this 62, 68, and 72. I kind of just missed out on. So I need to pay a bit more attention with this guy, but I just want him to be better, be a better human, you know. And then Kingsley come in. I picked him up about 2 hours before the deadline. I actually tried to get one off of Tony Watt, and yeah, he was like, I said 0.09, and he was just like, yeah, no chance. And I was like, well, what price do you want then? And he said near the floor, and I was like, yeah, but he's never sold for that in about 18 months. And he was like, oh, I think you'll find that he has. I was like, no, he has before that or whatever. But negotiations didn't go great, probably on my part where I was trying to do things too quickly. But I ended up picking up Kingsley for 0.12. And he'll stick around for a little while in the cap mode. Palacios had a lot to do against Dortmund, and then Rossi coming as well. I wasn't confident with Rossi against Cincinnati, but this turned out to be an amazing game, and I didn't actually watch it. Oh look, there's Camacho. He got injured. Maybe that's why he's so cheap. Maybe he's going to be out for a year or so. Who knows? Um, this is a weird one with Gressel as well. Obviously, I only super for some people who follow this, and I don't know what's going to go on with him. Where is he going to end up at? Any thoughts in the chat where you think Gressel is going to end up? I thought if Philly lose Wagner, I know Gressel plays on the right, obviously, but he could come in and just dominate set pieces there, and Harry has been playing on the left a lot anyway, so maybe that's a new natural position for him. I'm probably just wishful thinking here, but I hope that he ends up somewhere where he can really kind of really flourish, because you can see some of his scores down here. These dark greens. He has won me a few things as a super rare, but yeah, it seems like Nancy over at Columbus just doesn't like his work rate. So who knows what's going to happen with Gressel, where he's going to be. I was listening again on the So Rare data show yesterday when he was talking about him, about how he moved to a certain area in Vancouver so he could keep his green card. So it'd be interesting to where he ends up. I think that he stays, or he should certainly stay in the MLS. But where to? Yeah, I'm not too sure. But this was the lineup that kind of really let me down as well. So I had a good feeling about this. Garcia done well in terms of AA. Herrera done okay in terms of AA. But Kramaric, again, he's another player that I don't know what's going on with him. And you can see really nicely exactly where I picked him up. I picked him up after this score for what I thought was a decent price, and then all of a sudden he got injured and was out for 5 games. Come back was pretty terrible. Done well for Croatia, but I didn't have any international lineups and whatnot. And then from there he got subbed. He was started on the bench. So apologies to any Kramaric owners, because I've just absolutely butchered him in terms of a Sorare player. USG seem to, so this is from David, USG seem to have started playing more direct. Yeah, they did against Ursel, yeah. And it's hurting their AA. Burgess won a lot of duels. but had a lot of possessions lost. Same with Makeda. Yeah, I heard on who was it? I think it was Evil Duke. By the way, if people don't follow Evil Duke and they've got challenger players, you 100% should. More well challenger players, more so Belgium league players. Yeah, he's brilliant. I kind of DM him all the time and ask for a certain bits and pieces of advice and information as well. And he said that it could be a great week for the USG boys because they're up against Denki up top, and that they like to play a long ball as well. So it could be a lot of duels won and things like that. But I didn't actually see the game, so if they are starting to go a bit more direct, then yeah, that is a shame for sure. Really thought the crew would be perfect for him, but it hasn't been too great. Yeah, I think it's literally just because of the manager. Because when Gressel has played for Columbus, he's done all right. In terms of scores, mid 50s and things like that. From a super air point of view, if you're hitting the 70s, I'm all right with that. And then taking on some of the sets as well. It's a few of the games that I did actually watch him play. He had some big chances created, big chances missed as well. So it could have been even better. But yeah, I'm just intrigued to see where he actually ends up. What's going on, Kebab? Welcome to the stream, mate. What's going on? And then my cap 240. So I had a double dosage. If I can actually speak of ETH on the threshold. You know what? Who was it? Is it Trippin B? I think he has a little bit of a joke on one of his YouTube channels about that. I just needed to get a limited team in there, but yeah, I managed to get the threshold in this team as well. So I got a nice 0.11 ETH coming into the account, which is much needed as I start to get some depth into the gallery. ATX Mix, what's going on, mate? Yeah, I'm okay. How are you doing? How are you doing, mate? So yeah, that was my game week. I have got nothing. I've got no lineups coming on into this game week. Nothing at all. But in a minute, I'm sure. Yeah, in a minute, hopefully this refreshes because I want to see what they actually predict for me. I had a little stab at it, but I always like to do this is see what Sorare data um suggest. Oh, there we go. Perfect. GG's on the super rare threshold. Appreciate it. Thank you, mate. Red or dead? APP? PPA? Fair enough. Yeah, what's going on, mate? Welcome. Suggest lineup for All-Star Rare. This is what I was intrigued by. You know what? It's not far off. Grimaldo's got to be in there, isn't he? Garcia. Yes. Unistal's got the best lineup out of my keepers. Ansel's got a good lineup. I don't think he's going to be benched, so I don't know who's predicted that. And then proper. But then if I show you mine, I know I'm a bit all over the place. I'm just it's why I turn the camera on basically because this is what I've been doing. Just been jumping around some bits and pieces. But this was mine, so it's the same kind of back three here. I put Palacios in over Proper because that was the decision to make on that extra spot. Because Proper's not been in great form, but he has got a good fixture, hasn't he? And then Kramaric in there because he's got a really good fixture, but I don't know if he's going to play. And if he doesn't, then Pencil does come in for sure. But he's away from home at Eupen, but it should still be a good result for him. But what I was really intrigued because I don't think it resets straight away. Oh, I need to flip over, don't I? I don't think it resets straight away during a game week in terms of the L15 scores. So I'm assuming it's set now. Let's just suggest this. So obviously I've only got one goalkeeper. I was gonna go with Kingsley. Interesting, they've picked Belhanda over Newell. I'd probably play him. Probably play Newell. Be fair, although he might be benched, because they've got a midweek, haven't they? They've got a big game against Celtic, I believe it is. So that would be interesting. Niang, I've only got one forward, so I will take a look in a little while. At a forward. That's what I'm definitely looking at, a new super rare forward to come into the game. That gives me 44 points left, which means Belhanda would probably come in here. Now against Galatasaray. Galatasaray have been a little bit leaky though, but this is probably what I play. Depending on who's starting. Interesting. But that's definitely going to be my focus for sure. Let's just catch up on here. Not sure if I did here, but what? Okay. Kramaric should play. I was surprised he was benched on the. Yeah, he's absolutely kebab. He's the creative one. You know, he takes the set pieces. I don't think he's missed a penalty in X amount of attempts. He is surely their main guy, and I would have thought that his AA would even increase more with Veghorst up top as well. But clearly, something, the manager saw something in training that week, or maybe it was because he was coming back from international duty. I don't know, but it did mess up things a little bit. Check Bournemouth, for example. Every starter is down to be on the bench. Oh, about that issue, yeah. I would just wait. I think I heard before somebody say that the kind of experts on projecting lineups, they don't actually do it until kind of Thursday night time, Friday mornings. So I always wait there. I just check Play Sharper, and do my own research really on that. Um, yeah, so that's that. But what I was looking at, as I said, was MLS prices, and we'll do that first. And then after that, I want to take a look at my watch list. I'll go through that. And then after that, I'm going to take a look at a super air forward, because I do need to pick one up. I can't just have Niang as my super air forward. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see who pops up on the list. But with this, and this So this triggered the tweet that I put out about an hour ago. And Led, I know that you obviously commented back on that, and Gator Guy commented back on that as well. And for those who didn't see it, I will just chuck this up real quick. On here, great profile. There we go. This one. Yeah, I've never looked before, but the rewards in Super Rare competitions is horrendous. Should probably be R, by the way, not his. But anyway, why would people buy more super rares to play these competitions when they are so bad? Well, so the reason why I put that tweet up is because I was chatting with some people in Discord, and I was talking about, or we was all talking about some of the prices, obviously, of the rares that are tanking, and I wondered if anybody thought about playing Super Rare America before, because taking a look at my gallery, go over here. Taking a look at my gallery, people will notice, MLS specifically, that I have some MLS cars. You know, I've got Rossi, I've got Hill, I've got Herrera as my big hitters. I got rid of Reynoso and a few others as well. But I've got a few super rares in here: Gressel, Lennon, Lovitz, and Tolu. And I think that they're personally great super rares. I enjoy having them in the club. I like watching Nashville play. I like watching Lennon play. Gressel as well is exciting, and Tolu, I don't know if I enjoy watching him play, but Eden half give it some. He does give it some, which is good. But going back to here, I was thinking, well, I've got 4 super rares in the gallery, and now I'm building some more super rares to play Cap 240. Not only do I have some America depth when it comes into, late February, early March, whenever the season is going to be kicking off, but I was thinking, what about adding a forward in there and a goalkeeper from the MLS? Because then when it comes to the summer next year, I've got a goalkeeper, and I could move them and switch them and play them in Cap 240, and hopefully, add 1 or 2 super rares between January time and the summer, and then I can focus on Cap 240 again. And I thought, if these seasons cross over and I've got my second division guys, the Druas that I've just shown, and the Kingsleys and Niangs, etc., where would I play these cards? Yes, I can play them in the Rare Plus tournaments, and that's what I've been doing. But what would it look like if I put them in a super rare lineup and try my luck at it? And I've never really looked at the prize pools before, but this was one of them. Now, this was a full week when Champion Europe was playing. Europe, Champion America was playing. So this wasn't just, the MLS guys, or it was a shortened week. So it was a shortened prize pool. And I looked at that and I thought, wow, that's really bad. I don't know whether they're tier 1s, tier 2s. What game week is it? Oh, I can't remember now. I was fishing through so many of them, led. Yeah, I don't know. Um, I could probably bring them up and just go through a few, maybe. Uh, go over to um, I don't know. They was probably playing around here, maybe. Only asked because it looks light on MLS. Hmm. I thought it was a time where they all played. Let me just bring up like a Tolu or someone and see when they played. Uh, so if we go maybe 399 and 401, let's take a look at that. 399. I feel pressure now. I'm using Sorare data in front of LED. He's probably thinking, why are you going around it this way? You can get to it much quicker. 399. Go here. Let's catch up. So Siri says, what you think of Joe Willis and Lovett stack for Cap 240 next season? Well, he's one of the goalkeepers I'm looking at. Yeah, absolutely. I was just wondering what was going to happen, whether he was going to re-sign with them, which looks like he has, at least for another season. So it's probably between him and Stephen Fry, who I pick up to link in with my other super rare defenders that I've got in here. So this was 399. Right, so Daniel's obviously a good card. Brian White, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I'll be looking at him in terms of a Cap 240 super rare anyway. Samir's obviously decent. Kamal Miller I wouldn't really want, but probably decent for Cap 240. I mean, this looks a little bit better, but maybe it's just because I said on the tweet on the response um, that maybe it's because I'm looking at prize pools from rares and I'm seeing kind of, 8 stars in there for like All-Star Rare Pro and that sort of stuff. Um, But apart from the ones that I've mentioned, I mean, Arta, I probably wouldn't mind Eli Sanchez. But again, I'm specifically thinking from a capped point of view. And if I'm putting 5 super rares in, I mean, a Joe Willis super rare is going to cost me like 0.5. And then I need a forward. Say I picked up a Brian White for like, who knows what his price is, but I know he had a good tail end of the season, so 0.25. I just don't know if these guys are worth it to try and win. I don't know. I haven't put too much thought into it. It was literally I was looking at the prize balls, just thinking, "Wow, they don't look good." I've heard like Sean and some other people say it before, you know. Um, yeah, but you're right. It's ugly. What about a week in June? Let's have a look. Where was I? This tab. Here we go. A week in June. Let me just make sure that Tolu was playing in one of those. So let's go down to. Let's do 377. 377. Assuming it was a full week for MLS if Tolu played in this one as well. Super rewards are a massive gamble. I won £500 on a tier 3 super rare a few weeks back, but I've also won a tier 3 super rare worth £100 max with basically no utility. Still prefer to be super rare than rares right now. I think, yeah, I suppose I agree. It's just I was just expecting this prize pools to be more, but to entice me more to move up the chain. I think months ago they released something and they were saying that, oh, play limited, what was it, 220 or whatever, win a rare card, and then win enough rare cards to play some capped mode in rare, and then you win potentially a super rare to move up. Basically, that progression thing. And it's pretty much not that I'm following what they've suggested at all, but I am obviously moving up into super rares, and then the thinking behind playing a super rare competition, I was like, oh, I could win as good as rewards as what you can in rare, and that again naively probably thinking that. Um, but I do enjoy. I enjoy now scouting for super rares because I just think about it so much more. I mean, I could probably go out and buy. When we're talking about MLS, let me just hit that filter button. You could go out and buy a. Oh, let's put the show the floor price. Sorry. You could go and buy a Wagner. I know there's talk about what's going on with him for 0.07, a Carlos Hill for 0.25. It's still obviously a decent chunk of money, but then when you're talking about the Super S, you need to be so certain with what you're spending on. Now prices are coming down a little bit, but again, a João Paulo here, which is somebody that I've looked at, 0.05 for his rare when he's got an L40 of 60, and he's so consistent. You could just almost like it's two thresholds and bang, you're in. You can go pick him up. I know that everyone is going to agree with what I'm saying there, but I just have to focus a little bit more in terms of buying super rares. So this is that June date, right? So between the 2nd and the 6th of June, what does this look like? I mean, he's obviously a good forward in terms of plays for one of the best teams. Is he moved? He's moved back now, hasn't he, from Colorado, or is he still there? I don't know if he signed an actual deal with them because I'm sure he was somewhere else. He was at Wolves, wasn't he? Yeah. Maybe that's an end of loan now, or they signed him. A Corey Bard. I wouldn't mind him. Again, cap 240. Toledo's decent. I mean, not amazing again, but maybe I'm just expecting too much, you know. Oh, what's going on, Chenny? Good day, mate. Good day. Oh shit! Let me check work. Oh, we good, boys. We good. I've put my teams on do not disturb, so don't disturb me. Got important chat going on. Why not use them in Cap 240 and Cap 270? I don't know if I enjoy Cap 270 though. Again, it's probably because I haven't fully looked at it because my gallery isn't big enough to be saying, oh, whack it in Cap 270 as well. But what are the rewards like in the Cap 270? Are they good? The easiest way to get better rewards is competing competition that reward better cards. The easiest way to get better rewards is to compete in competitions that reward better cards. But do you not think that that's just Rare Plus? I mean, even when you win in Cap 240, it's not great, is it? You could look at them right there. Yeah, I probably could. uh, um, Cap 270. So Cap 270 super rare. I mean, yeah, it's immediately better, isn't it? Better. Agree in terms of what is on offer in the pools, but simply there isn't enough cards 1 of 10 to be able to reward quality throughout a season, in my opinion. Yeah, I thought of that earlier as well, David. Yeah, for sure. You can't be putting it into you can't be putting them there all the time. I know, and then having your auctions on top of that as well. I know it. I know they can't. It's just I just want what I want, David. All right, I just want good cards. I just want to win. That's all I want. Do you think the 5% season bonus is worth paying the extra for at the start of the MLS season? Thinking about getting a collection together for Cap 240 Super, Cap 240 Rare. So, I mean, let me answer it in a different way. Having a collection bonus when you're playing Cap modes is brilliant. Having a kind of that season XP is brilliant, and this is exactly why I picked up Niang, Rodriguez, and Belhanda. So I'm just shy of getting the 2% on them, but then I'm getting the 5% as well in terms of their season, and then obviously I'm building up on there. So when Niang hits that 74, he's bringing into for me 81, and because these are not the best cards in the world, any XP that you can get on them, for me, helps, you know. I don't know if I had their coach. They are looking for a new coach. Yeah, I saw that, Patrick Kluivert. I don't know why, because I mean they've not been doing too bad. Yeah, they've had a loss. I mean that's a kick in the teeth, isn't it? That's not ideal. Losing to 19th in the league, I think they were at that time. I watched pretty much most of the game as well, and yeah, they weren't good. 3 draws before that, but one against Fenerbahce. Um, And let's just take a look at where they were on the table. I know that they were fourth the other day. I mean, they're fifth. Last season, they didn't have a good season. Season before that, I think they did. But is it enough to warrant sacking him? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, do you know more about it, Siri? Um, David says, I love good cards every week too, mate. I do find that I get a buzz in super rare when opening a reward, which I used to, yeah. I mean, I've never won a super rare card, but I can imagine that for absolute sure. Laird says, starting a 2023 MLS collection now is hard because there aren't so many auctions. Yeah. I was looking at auctions earlier. I think I've removed the filter for MLS because again, when I was kind of going down that rabbit hole, I was looking at MLS. Oh, oh, all right. Thanks, Sorare. Thanks. Hello, hello. Well, that's good. Let's just park that then. Um, yeah, I was looking earlier. Is it a good? Noah says, is it a good time to buy some new cards? Depends what you're buying, mate. Depends where you're buying from and whether you feel comfortable paying them prices. Not sure, pal. Uh, Ray Niang got me the first two. Yeah, congrats, mate. Ray Niang, he showed up. He done some business. He did do some business. Where was I anyway? I was going to look at. Oh, I was over here looking at some prize pools, wasn't I? Yeah, back in June. It's Cap 270. I mean, that might be good. Obviously, you can win a unique in there as well. So yeah, that could be the play for sure. Could be the play. Noel, you want some rare Cap 240 cards? Everything looks low. I think just in general, everything is a little bit low in rare, just considering from previous prices. But obviously, if you was to enter the game today, they're kind of not low because that's all that you've known. I mean, my Carlos Hill that I bought was, I think I paid like 0.65 for him, and he's now 0.25. So he's considered low, but somebody coming in, it might be considered high. Who knows? I was looking at some MLS prices, wasn't I? So from a goalkeeper point of view, and somebody asked me this earlier, so this is on my list to get a goalkeeper super rare, um, and I'm interested in. I mean, I wouldn't mind a freeze, 'cause I think that he's going to guarantee number one spot next year or next season. But he is a little bit of a risk. But I think that he just claims number one out and out, week in and week out. I still wouldn't mind a Steve Clark. I know that I think Gator Guy was giving Nep some stick on the last what is it, collection time only about that. But I love Steve Clark. I had his rare. I even went and bought his rare back after I sold him. He done some amazing things for me. I wouldn't mind him, but would it make sense to get a 37-year-old in, 38-year-old? We don't know what's going to be going on with him at the end of the season. Probably not. Kalina was one that was on my watch list like last season, but I don't think I want to buy into the Charlotte franchise. Um, but the ones that I was looking at, yeah, was that I think that makes sense is Willis, Fry. I know that he's getting older, but apparently he signed another 2-year deal, so he should at least get another full season. And then I compare him with Tolu. Apart from that, I haven't looked too much at the moment because they're my go-tos. It'd be interesting to see what happens with Tim Melia as well. Siri says that the Adana fans didn't like Clive at all. Oh, really? Okay. In Europe, he made the goalie. Then so again, random decision. Yeah, I thought that was really weird how Osbeer um was sub, considering what an absolute animal this guy was. A couple of weeks ago, I was trying to sell my Unistal to actually then pick up Osbeer because I would have made um I don't know about 0.12, and at that time I kind of really needed it to invest into the super rares because I didn't want to put any more money in. But yeah, after these types of performances, and I know we're looking at it from a so rare score point of view. Let me just scroll down there. So rare score point of view, but you can see that if you're scoring a 98 and 100, you're keeping your team in the game. You're having a shit ton of saves. You're doing some absolute amazing things in goal, and then all of a sudden he just drops him. And it can't be rest. I mean, why are you resting a goalkeeper? It's not like there's a fixture before that or after that in terms of game week. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. Daniel Cooper, do you still have Seattle Super Rares? I still have Nuhu. Yeah, I have Nuhu, which is good because we can get some nice utility out of him. African Cup of Nations, which is good. He's got 3 games here, and he genuinely does okay, I think, for his country. So that's decent. Um, and from a cap point of view, he's only got 46 as well. So I expect Cameroon to go a little way in that competition. So that's the only one that I've got. But I was looking as well at um. So I was obviously looking at the goalkeepers, but then I moved up to the defenders and went from there. And this kind of plays in nicely because then I was looking at Yemer from a super rare point of view. Hence why I was then looking at the prize pools for Super Rare America, because if I'm picking up these type of quality players, where can I play them if I'm not playing them in a cap mode or an All Star Rare Plus? Um, you can pick him up for such a good price, in my opinion, at the moment. You can't see it because of my camera, but point 0.4 his floor is. And when he's this consistent with these green scores, if I just go to all, because yeah, he's not had an amazing season, but there's so many greens in there, and I just think that he's a really good card. And to pair him with Nuhu and then get the fry as well, and just have that defensive stack, it could be a good move. I need to look into it more, obviously, because I'm just chatting shit, breeze, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, um, there's some good prices out there at the moment for sure. Adana is linked with Victor Pereira if they can sign him. Superb attacking football. So, Siri, do you think that Belhanda stays in there as the number 10? Now, Niang, I'm pretty sure he stays at the number 9, right? Because Balotelli is out for a good few months. Scott Marshall says Osby was benched because he was one yellow away from suspension, so they needed to save him for the Gala game and didn't risk him. Hmm. I mean, fair enough. Is he likely to get yellow cards all the time? I know it's a bit of a risk, but as long as you're not wasting time, how many goalkeepers get, like, how many yellow cards do they get a season? Probably increased as in recent times, but I don't know if I would have been doing that. I mean, in hindsight, he would have played him, right? They lost 3-2 and they're at home. Nuhu, my favourite player because of Sorare. I love him. He's so funny to watch. He looks so awkward on the ball. Do you know what it reminds me of a little bit? In terms of like on the ball, is Jamie Carragher. Now, this might people might just butcher me for this, but when Jamie Carragher used to play as a right back, he always used to kind of run forward a little bit and then trap the ball by, like, say this is the ball's moving, and this is his foot. This is probably the worst thing. He would trap it like on top. He wouldn't just sort of necessarily flick it with his outside of his boot and then try and do something. And it just looked awkward. I mean, Jamie Carragher is a lot better player than Nuhu. Um, but that's just what comes to mind when I watch him. But I really enjoy watching Nuhu in terms of just the energy that he's got. He just bombs up and down. Just loves it, doesn't he? Really. Kebab says, do you think that you would benefit more from not buying America and focus more on Cap 240 players that play now? Um, I need a couple. Yeah. So I was saying this earlier. I need another forward at least in like the Turkish division or the Bundesliga 2 or Division 2, um, second division, sorry, competition, because I need to bolster exactly that. What I've got at the moment to ensure that I'm putting out a Cap 240 team week in and week out. But I'm thinking further ahead as well. So next summer, ensuring that I've got a Cap 240 team from the America guys. And I enjoy the MLS. You know, you look at my gallery and it's kind of what I know. And I done a video on this. When was it? I posted it yesterday, and people were saying stick to, or some of the tips from PSU fans too, and from Bob and from Laird himself as well, was to stick in the same leagues and stuff that you know. And over the last 2 seasons, I mean, 2 years ago, I knew nothing, absolutely nothing about the MLS. I just know that Robbie Keane went out there, Steven Gerrard went out there, Ibra went out there. Obviously, Beckham started it all off with the DP things and everything. And then all of a sudden, I started playing Sorare, and I was like, I was in, and I know quite a bit about it now. So I enjoy the league. It's exciting to watch. It's random as hell. So I'm not just gonna stop buying MLS cards because of that. I mean, at one stage, I think probably going back 4 or 5 months, pretty much most of my gallery was actually MLS. And I made a wrong move there because I went wide. I stretched myself so much, you know, buying like 6 goalkeepers and this, that, and the other, and I just wasn't ready for it. But No, I need a few more super rares in kind of Europe, and then I will look to pick up some MLS super rares because I just enjoy it. I just like it. Um, any chance of picking up a Messi? What is Messi's price? That's interesting. 0.46. Wow. 0.46. Since he's gone to the MLS, it's just been frightening, isn't it? Wow. I mean, it's enticing, isn't it? After seeing that price, I'm just a bit like, whoa, okay. Because my plan, I got rid of Renu. So I mean, let's just take a quick look at my couple of my transactions here. So my original plan was to keep the MLS guys that I had. Go buy MLS, right? So I ended up getting rid of Zimmerman, Willis, Fry, Renuso, Johnny Russell, Eric Tommy, um, Rosito, but yeah, it's just nothing. Bongo, Cascante, Stuva, Savarino. Um, have to head out. We'll catch up. Thanks, baby. Yeah, nice one. Cheers, lad. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, mate. Enjoy your day. You can see here that I had a lot of these cards. Buanga, Steve Clark, Cleveland as a backup. Like it's just madness how much I had. And I was trying to keep all of them, win some rewards, reinvest in Europe and go from there. But it didn't really work out that way. And then I had this new approach of obviously going into Super S. I needed some money and then go from there, etc., etc. So, but what I was thinking again the other day was around the rares that I've got left, and I put a tweet up that I was open to listening to prices for some of my MLS guys, but I've not got many left, But Rossi is one of the best forwards in the MLS. We know that, scoring wise and just ability wise. Carlos Hill is Carlos Hill. Herrera is Herrera. Now, if I added a top defender with a goalkeeper, just from a rare team alone, if I just whacked out them five, I just think it was, yeah, I think it would do some damage. Also from a rare all-star rare plus side, putting in any of these players, I'd be happy to do so as well. So I'm probably going to keep these three now. I don't know why I've just said that or why I come on to that. Can't remember what I was talking about. With Messi, but if you could add a Messi on top of that as well, you just got some of the real big hitters there. What's going on? I don't know how to say that. Scamuel? Fair enough. What's going on, mate? Then Hill, Renuso, Messi from there. From 3, 4. Okay. Sorry, my screen went a little bit blank then. Yeah, Renuso. I wonder what's going to happen with Renuso. Do you think he's going to stay in the MLS? I'm not trying to put fear into you, but do you think he stays there? Belhanda is safe in my opinion. Beautiful. So he's going to play in the number 10. Niang is guaranteed starter. Yeah, after Mario got injured. Perfect. Not that Mario got injured. I mean, that sucks. I'm not wishing injuries on him and all of that sort of stuff. But hey, we got Sorare to play. You know what I mean? I've got cards to win. I've got Eve to grind. I've got a mortgage to pay. But no, hopefully it gets well soon. But I think they'll definitely sign a forward in the transfer window. Yeah, that could be pretty risky. Niang's first season there though, right? So, Scamuel, found you from your last video, which was great. YouTube recommended it actually helped out for once. Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate it. I'm glad that you liked it. I mean, really, I was just stealing content from somebody else, wasn't I? They were the ones that was giving all the advice. I was just jumping on it. But no, I thought, but both videos. I mean, it's why I made the video. I think if you haven't seen that video, go and watch it. I uploaded it yesterday, and if you don't want to watch that one, then watch at least the two that I've linked in the description on that video because they are genuinely two videos that have massively just helped me out. And it's funny how one was 18 months and 2 years ago, one was 2 weeks ago, and yet there's similar things that are being said there. It just shows that what rung true then rings true now, in my opinion. I think he'll lose either way. They'll be, yeah, I think he'll be good. Yeah, he's just young, isn't he? Like, when you think about somebody in the MLS just dominating like he would, all right, he was 26 when I bought him, right? Fair enough. He's 28 now, but even still, he's got a couple of he's got like 4 more years of. He's so frustrating to watch though. Oh, the amount of times he gives the ball away is unbelievable. But yet he still churns out results like this. So from a Sorare point of view, would you care? There was some news that come out today, wasn't there, about Almeida, that he wants to leave. Where's he going? Where do you think that he's going? I mean, he won the World Cup with Argentina. Yeah, he only played X amount of minutes, but you don't really want to be playing for Atlanta when you're 22. You've just won the World Cup. He should go somewhere. I mean, score wise, he's just a beast, isn't he? I think it would be, just from my standpoint, it'd be great if he went to somewhere like a Benfica, or maybe I don't know, maybe an Ajax, somewhere like that, that are used to having young players in there, and they give them a lot of game time. Because what you don't, with a talent like him, what you don't want to happen is that he goes somewhere and just sits on the bench. Um, if, like, not saying that they would, but if a big giant come in like a Barcelona or Man City decided that they want to take an Almeida, he's just going to sit on the bench, play some of the cup games, or they're just going to loan him out again. So it just, hopefully he just gets a really, really solid move, because he's a brilliant player. Like any Argentina, Benfica probably. Yeah, I think that'd be a great move for him. Also, for your information, Turkish league has 1 week of off during the winter break. Yeah, I saw that. Might not be worth you to waste game weeks. Yeah, I did see that. And to be fair, the next goalkeeper that I buy now, might not be from that league, because the guy that I was trying, I don't know whether he was here at the beginning, but the guy that I was looking at, I can't remember how to spell his name, but it was the guy who did this one, who is now out, basically injured for the whole season. And I'm so grateful that I didn't bite the bullet on him, because I would have just had 0.6 gone, 0.6 ETH gone. So yeah, I need to. He was the only one that stood out for me in terms of a Turkish league super rare goalkeeper as well. So I need to go back to the drawing board with it for sure. Hope it's a great challenger team and not a mid champ. Yeah, exactly. A challenger team would be great for him. I personally think. Um, yeah, 38 people in there, eh? Love it, boys. Love it. On a Tuesday afternoon. I'm just gonna check your working. We're still good. See, this is what happens. This is what happens when you give your notice in at work. You don't get hardly any emails, no pings, no phone calls. This is perfect so rare time, until somebody clocks that I'm actually live on YouTube and they just put me on garden leave for the next couple of weeks. But I wouldn't mind that as well. you know. Yeah, that goalkeeper's closed for the season. He dislocated his shoulder. Oh shit. Daniel Cooper, what's next for you? Yeah, change your job. Yeah, I start a new one in the new year, uh, which is good. Um, Moving into a head of role, an operations role. So yeah, I'll be a little bit busier. I'll probably be having to make so rare videos and streams and that of an evening, rather than, like, lunch hours and things like that. I'm going to be a bit busier, but yeah, really looking forward to it. So let's see what the new year brings. Okay, two of you have mentioned this guy. Let's take a look at him. Akan, right? Ooh, Akan. I mean, his L15's a little bit higher. Yeah, it's that 100, isn't it? I'm sure this isn't a great team in the league, though. Rispor. I remember, if I got somebody playing against him, I think that they're in a decent. Oh, okay, they're doing all right this year. Surely I'm sure last year they just escaped relegation. No. Nice, congrats, man. Appreciate it, Daniel. Thank you, mate. Getting into Cap 2 Super. Any general tips? Um, focus on one league, um, or one or two leagues. Make sure they're playing at the same time. Pretty much the video that I put out yesterday. I'll definitely go and watch that, or go and watch Bob and Laird's video on Sorare Data. That's all the tips that you need for Cap 240 Super Rare. And be prepared as well that you're not just going to buy 5 guys and then just hit it week in and week out. You will need a pool of players, for sure, and chop and change and play matchups. Moving into this week for me, where am I? Lineup builder. I'm not confident this week going into Cat 240 Super Rare. Oh, sorry, Cat 240 Super Rare. Yeah, I'm not confident of this team. We've got Niang against Galatasaray, and Niang's away from home, same as Belhanda. Newell, I'm fine with him, home or away, sorry, because he always delivers from an AA standpoint. He's on all sets as well. Drury's, they're playing a really tough team. Hanover, they're a decent side. So 14th, and they're away from home. And then you've got Kingsley there, who's, yes, away from home, but it's an okay matchup, I think, with the 8.5 percentage on him doing all right. Apart from that, I could bring in Young, which, by the way, I've already kind of won him back. I paid 0.05 for him, and I've obviously won the threshold this week. So that's just perfect. That's what you want. You're buying in super rares and they're paying for himself. It's just amazing. And then we've got Machida in there that I could actually bring in instead of Belhanda. Although I couldn't because it's -2, so Belhanda has to play. But I'm not confident of that. So if I had an extra 1 or 2 super rares in there, I could probably play the matchups a little bit more. Riceball has a great coach. They got promoted this season. Oh, okay. I must have been confusing it with a different one. Also check top. Okay, let's have a look at him. So he's under 23, yeah. Oh, that's nice scores. That's very nice scores, isn't it? He's a really good player. I mean, he's rare, still points. And Goats picked him up. 0.14. I mean, for a cap 240, obviously it's a little bit high at the moment for his L15, but you can always chuck him in a rare plus if he's going to be performing like that for sure. Don't know what this game was about, whether he was suspended or something. I'm assuming so, with the yellow card game before. Tough fixture for Hibs against Celtic, man. I've got Marshall and not very confident, to be honest. Yeah, it's going to be tough, isn't it? I mean, that's another super rare goalkeeper that I thought to go to because I picked up Kingsley to go to David Marshall. But again, he's just a little bit old, isn't he? In terms of, is he going to play on for 1, 2 seasons? Is it the end of the season he's going to retire? I don't know. I don't know if you guys know, but yeah, he'd be a nice super rare to pick up for sure. I think they're probably the 4 sort of league / competitions that I'm looking at when it comes to capped super rare players is the second division competition and mainly the Bundesliga one, just because that's where I've got Ruiz and I've got Zhang in there as well, and maybe pick up another one from that team. MLS, because I enjoy the MLS. I've already got a few players from there. Scotland, because I've already got a couple of players from there, and Turkey, because I've got a few players from there. So they're the leagues that I'm kind of focused on in terms of Cap 240. Rather than one, it's 4, but I'm aiming to buy enough of each where I can then just chop and change and put them in different places, basically. Marshall contract runs out at the end of the season. He might retire and likely to be replaced in Jan. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. His scores look all right though. He had a smashing game last game by the looks of it. Yeah, let's just close a few of these down. Yeah, you guys giving me some stick, I think. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. So they're the four leagues that I'm focusing on, but I 100% need um another forward, and maybe I'll pick one up before the. Sorry, can't do two things at once. Clearly, I need to pick one up maybe before the start of the next game week, because um I'm not confident with Niang against Galatasaray. I mean, what's Galatasaray's home um scores kind of been like? So Galatasaray, let's have a look. Are they good at home? Don't know too much about. I mean, I know their players, but I don't know about their form. Let's just go with him at home, and we only want the. All right, they do let in a couple, but I mean they've won their last what's that 8 at home, but they do let in a couple, so they could. I mean, they could score. Any team could score, right? But I don't feel confident in that, so I do need to pick up somebody else. I mean, who is even in my watch list? I need to go through this and update again, but I know that a lot of managers or content creators wouldn't necessarily show you a watch list, but these ain't players that I'm guaranteed to pick up, so I'm not really bothered. So Sam Larson's in there. I think he's in an okay price. I wouldn't mind this guy, but there's no one who's selling him just because he plays for Carl's Runner. Carl's Run. I don't even know how to say that, but KSC. He plays for them. Obviously, same as my goalkeeper and defender. Boyle to link up with Joe Newell. I'd really like him, but I'm not paying 0.48. Just not. Um, yeah, we've got Carlos Vicente there, but no one's selling him at the moment. I did have this guy on my list. I've had him on there for weeks, and then he went out and hit like a 95. The game week just gone. Ngoy as well was in there, but I'm not too sure on him because I think he's going to be a bit of a risk to get him in. But you can see here the leagues that I'm focusing on, right? Just exactly what I just said: the Scottish Premier League, the Turkish League, and these second division clubs. Have I looked at Bilalkowski? Just butchered that name, haven't I? I mean, he rings a bell at Millwall because I think I looked at. It's not going to show, is it? Let's just go by Millwall. I think I looked at a defender there. There he is. Sorry, there he is. Yeah, but he's 36. I mean, he's playing at the moment. I mean, whose position did he take? Is he just out injured, that guy? Or did he just take over as number one? All right, so he was clearly injured, right? The MP's all here. And then he's been back on the bench last two games. Seems a bit risky to me. Um, Gala also have a really important Champions League game the following Tuesday, so may choose to rotate a little. I mean that obviously sways in my favour a little bit. I didn't really know that about Galatasaray. The Calvo stack, yeah. Calvo, I owned his super rare when he was in the MLS, so I know a bit about him. But if I was to pick up a super rare from this team, it would definitely be this fella right here. I know not from a cap point of view, obviously, but he's the only one that excites me from that team. The goalkeeper as well. Now he took over from what is it, CH? His name's CH. 26. Fuck me, he don't look 26, does he? Jesus. 26. Yeah, 26. I mean, he ain't a bad super rare goalkeeper though, is he? What's his price? Oh shit. Yeah, not playing that. Yeah, no way. I think even if I was to negotiate with somebody who wanted to sell him, I think they'd still be asked for like 0.75 at least. Um, is Calvo a guaranteed starter? Scott's asking. Sarkic is the Millwall number one. He's back in the squad. Yeah. Paul Bento is very good. Yeah, with just going back to that, have I still got my watch list up? You know what? I was zoomed out a little bit. I don't think I have, but let's just find him. Um, this team actually interests me into like all over the pitch because you've got Kara there, who's obviously a really, really good scorer, right? But this guy, now he's a decent price that you could pick him up for. Um, Takes some of their sets as well. Plays for his country. He's interested, so it could be a nice little link up him and Fall up top, maybe. You know, Nguye's gonna compete with Costa. Yeah, so that's what I thought, Siri. Um, Good job I ain't got my phone on. I'm saying Siri. You're asking me what I'm talking about. Paul's had a hard life by the looks of it, Sam says. maybe. Maybe if he had some hair, maybe he'd look younger. God knows. Um, oh, they've got a new coach, a very good one. He might bring back. Okay. Who's that guy as well? Might bring him back. Is he the goalkeeper? Oh, he's the forward. Might bring him back. How did he get on when he was there before? That'd be interesting. Very, very well. What's his price? You know what? I might whack him on the list. Do a little bit of investigation. Investigation. Larson is a good little player. He is. Yeah. He's somebody that's obviously on the list for good reason, really. Sorry, just checking something else. Do you reckon it's a good time to buy Zinchenko? You know what? I don't know pretty much any of the scoring for. Obviously, I know a hell of a lot about the Premier League, but I don't know in terms of Sorare. I'll just stay away from it. So some good scores. I'm assuming some of these are for Ukraine though. Yeah, the 91 in there, the 58. Okay. What's his price? 0.08. I mean, why do you need a Prem defender is the first thing that I'd say if anyone's buying Prem cards. Like if you've got a big gallery and things like that, yeah, fill your boots. But you could probably find somebody to deliver what he delivers for half of that price, I would have thought. You do some scouting about. But yeah, I don't know whether it's a good time. I never know whether it's a good time. You know, I could buy someone tomorrow and he just plummets. I have no idea. You just got to feel comfortable with the price that you're paying. Do your research, make sure you're good with it, and go from there, mate. Um, Going back to this list, so yeah, I would really like a Martin Boyle. I would like that because I can play him for a good few weeks as well. He's just come off the back of 2 assists. He plays for his country, so there's a bit of utility there. He links up with Joe Newell. He's a locked-in starter. I would like him, but the last price that someone paid for him is 0.3, and you know I could probably pick somebody up similar to him for half of that price. So that's where I lean towards, but I don't know. He's there. He's there definitely for a reason. Uh, yeah, he's there. I don't even know who's on there for goalkeeper point of view anymore because I took that fella off. So yeah, Stephen Ferrer I mentioned earlier. This guy, I don't know if anyone knows anything about him. I need to do some research. Danny Martin from Andorra. I don't know what happened. All these DMPs, whether he was kind of injured or it looks like he's transferred from somewhere, but then he was on the bench for the first 4 or 5 games. He's somebody that interests me. Um, who else have I got in there? I've got this guy, but I think that his lows are just too low for me. I mean, a 14, a 15, a 5, a 5, a 10, and an 11, and both of those coming in the last 2 games. Yeah, granted, he was playing against two very good teams, but it looks like they just concede a ton. So unless it's like a really, really good price, no one's even selling him, but not sure. Not sure on him. I need to go through and update this sort of stuff. See what's going on. Andorra shakes up their lineup often. Danny Martin is very good, but there is the possibility of sitting randomly. Oh, what's going on, Bob? How you doing, mate? Let's take a look at him because I had somebody else on here. Who was it? Oh, I think it's. I learned about Pampin from you. I think Bob. You own his unique. I think you did. And then when I was going through, so a tip for anybody who doesn't do this and probably all 38 of you do this, right? But if you're interested in player from a league, what I like to do, if you go to the league itself and you go over to stats, um, and then do the whatever position you're looking at. So, for argument's sake, defender here. Obviously, I only want to see players who've got Sorare cards. Do it from L15, L40, whatever you want to do. But then I just check some key things. So if I'm looking at defender, I'm looking at interceptions because obviously they score quite highly. I'm looking at potentially big chances created. So Cody's up there. This is a guy that's definitely on my watch list as well. Although he's old, I know he runs out, but when he scores like that, a rare plus, super rare that you potentially could get for cheap, takes all of their sets as well. Brilliant. Attempted assists, who appears in here again. Just some of the key things that you look for when you're looking at a defender, right? So it might be your double doubles. Who's on this list again? Do they appear in some of your other filters? So yeah, just a tip out there. I do it on pretty much every single league. You know, if I'm looking at a midfielder and I'm looking at a creative midfielder, well, how many attempted assists did they have? Where is it? Attempted assists. Attempted assists. So Vieira's up there. Now, sometimes this data's screwed a little bit because look, we've got Alex Garcia in here. We know that he plays for Girona. We know that he plays in that league. So I don't know whether that's a little bit of a bug within So Rare data. But yeah, just be careful with some of those players. I mean, Jonathan Vieira, I'm sure that he don't even play anymore. Yeah, I'm sure he had a row with the club and he's just nowhere near the first team anymore. But yeah, just be careful on some of them. But just a tip there if you don't do that. And I'm sure that some of the ones that I was looking at, Pampin was appearing on there. So Jay Blaze says, yes, I need some more Danny Martin info. I don't have a So Rare Data Premium. Franco, if you can, mate, I would, well, it's up to you whether you feel as though you need it. I think it's a necessary for me, like just 100% necessary. I love him, Pampin from Andorra and Franquez from Real Zaragoza, both under 23. I think that's what put me off him a little bit is because I'm not playing under 23, so people are going to chuck a little bit of a premium on him. But, you know, if you can pick him up for 0.14 and he's delivering these sort of scores, these, you know, the 93 to 70, the 80s every now and again and just jumping up there. But the good thing is that he's still got these orange scores in him, obviously from a cat mode, right? So it is good. James Clifford says Cordoba is decent. Let's have a look at him. I know this goalkeeper. I looked at him last season, ended up picking up Raul Fernandez instead, who done me absolute bits, by the way. Raul Fernandez. Just showing you this guy. I probably banged, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I banged on about him all the time, how good this guy was for me. So if we just go to all, right, this is the stretch where I owned him, all these green scores. He's the one that helped me win Bellingham, helped me come second in, I think it was a All-Star. Yeah, he was just amazing. He was my number one go-to. And then he lost his position to Ferreira, I think his name is, towards the end of the season because he got injured. And then he started this weekend. The weekend just gone, he started against Real Madrid. And I thought, bang, we're back in here because he was like going for 0.02. He's 35 or whatever. I was hoping for like a January transfer for him. Comes in and then he has to go off injured. I was like, shit, he might have just won his number one spot back and it's more utility. And yeah, he flopped. But going back to you know who this guy plays for, he was another goalkeeper that I was looking at. So let's have a look at Cordoba. He looks very solid, doesn't he? A couple of big games in the last two. Oh, that's a good price. The owl just fucking, this guy just cleans up. Anyone that I'm ever interested in, I'll just go to this page to see what the last prices were. He has one. He buys them. Look, he's got a number 5 there, number 3, number 4. Jesus. But yeah, he's a decent player. Be interesting to see what somebody lists him as next time. For sure. Stack with Caro in Cap 240. Oh, okay. He was stacking him. NVIDIA says is there any Prem players that you would recommend or you reckon that is under the radar? Yeah, I'm not too sure, mate. I stay clear of the Prem. The the only one I know how they're kind of really getting on is Spurs, just because I'm a Spurs fan. So I know their scores kind of inside and out. But yeah, I stay clear just because I think that there's more value in other leagues. To be really honest. Check the Sorare Disco in the La Liga. That's the best goalkeepers option recently. Oh, nice. I'll take a look at that. Cheers, David. Um, any good rewards from the weekend, Daniel? No, not for me, mate. I've just got the super rare threshold and the rare threshold, so I've just got a nice little bit of ETH coming into the gallery, which is always good. Look at Matos from Burgers 2. Take a look at him. Probably gonna give it like another 10 minutes, guys, and I'm gonna have to go and start the old dad routine and dinner and God knows what else. What else is gonna come my way this evening? Um, Matos, or the left back. He's got a nice little tash. Look at him. Although it's not complete, is it? That tash, not complete. Let's look at his scores. Yeah, nice as well. Is he always been there? I mean, these scores are concerning, but this season it seems like he's a decent player. You bought Real Fernandez on a gamble too. Saw the new manager update, got it correct. As yeah, yeah, it's annoying. I mean, I don't know how bad that injury is. So hopefully it's he's back and he clearly prefers Fernandez. Fingers crossed, right? Yeah, Matos has been doing absolutely bits for me. Yeah, when you've got somebody hitting 100, I mean it's obvious, right? But it puts you in such a strong position. Do you know what I mean? A really strong one. But yeah, so going back to your point, I've just got the ETH kind of coming in and adding to the pot. And as I said, I need another forward. Um, I've got four defenders now, which is great. I've got only two midfielders, so I need another midfielder and another forward for sure in this group of players. And then I'll think about picking up a second goalkeeper in super rare, and then what I was talking about right at the beginning of this video was to look back into the MLS, just where I have quite a bit of knowledge and league that I enjoy watching. So if I can prepare for next summer with some of these prices, what's going on at the moment with super rares, then why the hell not? NVideos says, out of curiosity, who's your favorite Spurs player currently, or your favorite of all time? Who springs to mind, right? I mean now, and it has been for a good few seasons. It's Sonny. I just he's just work rate and what he brings. It's an obvious pick. Obviously, I really enjoyed Kane being at the club, right? Of course. But I just really like Sonny. He looks like a nice guy. He comes across as a nice guy. I watched his documentary on Amazon as well. If you haven't seen that, that's worth a watch. He's just very militant. He's all in all the time. So yeah, I would say him in recent years. Before that, you people like Gareth Bale and people like that. There's some top players there, but I always remember David Ginola as a kid. Um, yeah, I always remember. I mean, I played for Spurs as a kid. And uh, yeah, he just sticks. He was just so good. Him, Teddy Sheringham, Ledley King, absolute animal. When I was a kid, there, Ledley King was kind of like the boy coming through. Um, he was an animal. So there's a few in there, and I'm just talking about kind of that I've enjoyed watching or have had an impact on me while I've been watching football, right? So you could go back in the day, Ozzy Ardiles and all of those sort of players. But yeah, I'd probably say that group without thinking about it too much. Ever tempted to get a Spurs collection? Absolutely. I done a stream about um I done a stream a couple of months back where I was talking about Spurs, and it was before the season. I'm sure it was before the season, and I was saying how much that I was gonna wanted to pick up a Son. At that time was like point 0.2, and I think Madison was like 0.21. Now Son's gone up a little bit, but Madison rocketed to like 0.5 or something outrageous. Um, where did he go to? Price graph would be a better place, wouldn't it? uh 6 months. Yeah, he went right up here, like 0.54, and I could have bought him literally down here. And I chose not to, but yeah. So I was a bit gutted when he's started performing, his price rocketed, etc. But I wasn't gutted at the same time because he was just doing bits, and it's just unfortunate that he's injured. So coming down to this price, yeah, I'm interested, but for the price of Madison and Son, I could pick up a Messi, and yeah, I think that just suits my gallery more. Not that I'm going to do that, but anyway. Um, how about Lucas Moura? Yeah, loved it. Love Lucas Moura. Do you know what? Frankie Kent. I looked at this guy. Um, is he on auction or something like that? Oh, there you go. He's on auction. Well, good luck. I can't afford it, Cameron. Otherwise, I might have even think about rivaling you in that. But no, I went with Kingsley. It was actually between Kingsley and Cochran that I decided that I was gonna pick up. And Cochran is on sets, but I think he loses some of them when somebody else comes back into the team. And then Kingsley playing as a centre back, maybe I feel a bit more comfortable in there as well. I don't think there are more than 5 midfielders that score better than Madison in the whole game. Yeah, I can agree. When you've got Son making them runs in behind, you've got Ange Ball, the way that he likes to play, he's on sets. Yeah, um, I think that he's superb for sure. Cochrane has great upside but terrible downside. Yeah, apparently he's got. Is he not got anger issues? I mean, when I look at here, he's just been sent off, booking, penalties given away. Yeah. When is Matters meant to be back? End of Jan, I think it is. End of Jan or mid Jan. Yeah. Um, guys, I'm gonna leave it there, but it's been a pleasure this afternoon. As I said, I was supposed to be working, but I'd rather do a Sorare stream. But no, I appreciate everyone coming along. If you haven't hit the like button and you've been here for a while, appreciate it if you hit the like button. Go and watch some of the videos that I posted recently as well. Some really good content. Basically, me just saying um, how Bob and Laird and PSU fans too and stuff like that have been kind of instrumental in terms of advice and tips that have been going out there as well. So for those who are asking about Cap 240 and how to get into it, I'd suggest go and watch them videos. Honestly, they are so key. Do your research, etc. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Have a good evening. And I'll do one maybe towards the end of the week as well. So take care, guys. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.